welcome to another episode of Kate and Omega. I'm Kate.
And I am Omega.
And we are here to share another story of inspiration.
Yes.
But before we kick into our story of inspiration,
you know how we do. We talk about
what has been happening, my guy.
All right, well, let's talk about Florida.
Florida?
Okay, so we went to
Florida
Florida,
was
right?
a vibe. Florida's always a vibe.
Okay.
I was home.
Okay, he was home, right? And then it was amazing. Got to hang out on the beach. I ran.
Yep.
You know, I'm in this health and wellness thing, so you know, getting diesel, seeing the progress, and then had a show, but you couldn't make it because you got sick.
I overdid it a little too much.
Yeah, you was on the sun too much.
Okay, so let me just back up because I said it's my home. It's not really my home, but I feel like home, and I
you want to make it home, right?
I do want to make it my home.
There you go.
I'm working on that.
Yeah. So. Met a lot of interesting people.
We always do.
Had a couple of vibes, you know, just one dude try to tell you about religion.
Yeah, that was fun. We went toe to toe a little bit in a very beautiful way.
Yeah, it was cool.
But what I loved was I got to really like sit and meditate and be at the beach. And you made me work out a couple days.
Yep.
I wanted to.
Yep. Had you working out. You know what I'm saying? Had you do the elliptical for like 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little different than what I typically do, but.
Yeah. But it felt good though, right?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
So it was a great trip. And then it just always is a beautiful reset.
Yeah, everybody was like super dope. The concierge people, they added my music to the playlist.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was dope. That's residuals.
That was fun. Remember by the end of it, so they give you like the breakfast every morning.
Right.
And like everybody would come up in the morning.
Yeah,
and so
everyone was hollering
at us. They were calling you mayor. The mayor.
Yeah, it was a vibe. It was a vibe.
It was fun.
It was a vibe. What else? Something else happened.
We went to Biohack too.
Yeah, Biohack,
Miami, which was dope.
Yeah, so I have a partner in Miami. He's my partner for high risk credit card processing. So he throws an event called Biohack Miami, right? So it's all like health and wellness and you know, all these products and services for health and what I mean, we went.
It was cool. Like you could try all of it. You could do red light therapy. They had cupping. We did sound meditation.
Sound meditation, yoga.
It was just like literally, IV drip therapy.
IV drip.
A bunch of different like beautiful foods. They had caviar bumps. Which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it was on a rooftop.
It was on a rooftop
in Miami.
Yeah, it was
and
dope.
So it just was you know what, man? It was dope.
It was a vibe.
It was dope.
Let's
go back.
We going.
Yeah.
And then I had a show. It was the BTN car and bike festival.
Yeah.
It was with Plies, Mims, and Mr. Vegas. I rolled there with my longtime DJ friend, DJ Vince One.
Yep.
And I was with Lord Jazz, the Lords of Underground. If y'all know who they are, they're legendary hip hop artists. DJ Lord Jazz. He's a legendary DJ. So we were hanging out with him the whole weekend, and he got to see me perform. And DJ Newmark, he's a DJ for the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yep. Your guys.
So them my people.
Your homies.
Yeah. So they actually got to see me perform. Oh, and DJ Pup Dog too from Jammin' 94.5. He's the program director for Jammin' 94.5. That covers that's Clear Channel Radio. That covers the whole New England, all 6 states. So they all got to see me perform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I shut it down.
I shut it down
all the way. You know.
Yeah.
And
a healthy version.
Yeah. I was beasting on stage. You know what I'm saying? So that was dope. And then got to kick it with Mims, you know what I'm saying? Mims, you know what I'm saying? We kicked it. We got to reconnect because I used to kick it with Mims a lot back in the day when he had that hit single, This Is Why We Hot, because he used to mess with my boy Roy, and he's a big dog pitbull. He's down with Funkmaster Flex's crew. So we reconnected, and right now we're working on a collaboration.
Amazing.
And
amazing.
And we're in some talks of some things, some bookings up in here, you know, up here. So you know,
I
mean, I'm not,
you know,
it's about to go down.
I love it.
It's about to go down.
I love it.
So that's pretty much what happened in Miami.
Yeah.
And then
after Miami, we rolled into Mother's Day, which was really big for ShareJoy.
Yeah, you had a ton of
and it was
bookings.
my 3rd year in the game. I do fresh flowers. So this Mother's Day was popping.
Tell them about the Hope Rises
was my
joint.
favorite thing? Well, that happened too, but I got to build bouquets with the kids at a couple schools.
Yep, that too.
I read stories at a couple schools. There you go. We vibed. Oh man, the kids are magical, little star seeds. Yeah. And then I did an event for Hope Rises and New Era Cap Foundation.
There you go.
That was absolutely incredible, beautiful.
Got a lot of motion going on.
And when I tell you there's so much beauty in this city, I really mean it. It's been incredible. So it's just been a beautiful, just keep rolling. God,
positive energy, constant elevation.
Family, share joy.
There you go.
So
how was your weekend?
Yes.
My weekend was spectacular.
What did you do? Yo, actually, you know what? I'm digging that I'm digging your commercials, bro.
I know.
I'm watching your commercials.
Wait,
Willoughby.
which one? Willoughby,
Willoughby
will when nobody will.
I'm digging it, man.
Me and Craig.
And I also noticed that you was in the review for Showplace Theater when they talk about it. Because they talk about the restoration of Showplace.
Oh yeah, when Joe was talking about the rest, they got the marquee sign up.
I see you walking through.
But I'm getting ready to get on my health kick too. So I was.
There you go.
Well, I mean, we go to the same gym. No, we go to the same gym, bro.
Yeah. But I'm getting on my A game now.
Okay.
I'm just starting. I couldn't work out I hurt my knee like a year ago, so I couldn't really run.
Okay.
Oh, you're getting back into it.
But I see Anthony all the time at the gym. You know what I'm saying? I see him walking.
Yeah.
You know
I love it.
Good old
So
crunch.
I want to formally introduce DJ Anthony to our audience. We're really excited to have you in studio today.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped to be here.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, DJ Anthony is a prominent radio personality in Buffalo all the way to Toronto.
Yikes.
He is celebrated not only for his dynamic presence on the airwaves, but also for his profound commitment to the community.
There you go.
He has cultivated a reputation for engaging audiences with his vibrant energy and genuine connection to listeners, including myself. Beyond his radio career, DJ Anthony is deeply involved in the community activities. He has played a pivotal role in organizations and participating in numerous charity events.
Amazing.
Leveraging his platform to raise first awareness and also funds for various causes.
There you go.
Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today to share your
That was really nice. That was
for real, man.
nice.
For real, you
yeah.
do a lot out here, man. Like you're everywhere, and I heard a lot of stories, man. Like I heard like you're the man.
No.
That's what I've been hearing, man.
A name that a lot of most
everyone told me like, yo, Anthony's the man.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all saying that. I just feel God put me in a good position coming from being a foster child in Angola.
Okay.
Way back in the day till now.
Angola. How was that back in Angola? Like back then?
You know, it was bad, but that was way back. But then I'd be telling my age, but it was way back. We're talking back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say.
Well, you know black don't crack.
I mean, so Angola,
exactly, right?
Angola is like it's south of here. It's a beach community.
Yeah.
So Angola, like if you go a little bit further, Salamanca is pretty close to there, right?
That's further.
Yeah. That's southern tier, right?
So it'd be like Hamburg, Derby, Angola, Farnham,
Springville,
Silver Creek.
No, what about
Fredonia, Dunkirk, Jamestown, Salamanca.
No, Salamanca. No. Salamanca is before Jamestown.
Nope.
No? Okay, all right, cool. All right. I lived in Jamestown.
But either way, both of them are far away.
Yeah. Jamestown's I used to go to a spot called you've been to Jamestown, right?
Yeah.
So it was they played live music. What was it called?
Wait, what year were you there?
I'm talking about early 2000, and then I knew
I haven't been to Jamestown.
And I knew the DJ that was DJ for
I've never been.
So the DJ that lived there, he DJ'd for the girl. She was signed to Dr. Dre's label. She's like that song was "It's a party, ain't no party, it's a party." What's her name? She was a female rapper.
She's from Buffalo?
No, she's from Jamestown, but he was her tour DJ. I can't. I'll remember it. I'll remember in a second. But,
yeah.
But she was signed to Dr. Dre for a little bit.
Yeah.
But ain't no party,
Not
ain't no
Anne
party.
Marie.
No, just ain't no party, ain't no party. It's something I can't remember the name of this.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, we got But I used to spend a lot of time out there. There used to be this club out there that play live music. I can't remember the name of it too. The Q.
The Q. I've heard of it.
The Q.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time out there.
But now Angola, like I said, that was way back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it's awesome because I go out there for Roswell Park and ball for bucks with little kids, the college kids shaving off all their hair to honor somebody battling cancer in their family. Lakeshore is a founding school. Everybody's awesome. The vibe's totally 360 different out there now.
Yeah.
So
All right, I'm sorry. Shawbucks. That's the name of the name of the.
You said Starbucks?
No, Shaw. It was called Shawbucks.
Oh, okay.
You remember that place?
No.
That was okay. They live music. Yeah, it was kind of wild back then.
But I remember a place called The Q, and maybe
The Q. Yeah. It was Q in the Shawbucks. It was like live music. The Shawbucks and Q was like a kind of hip hop.
How was it? Good?
I mean, it was lit, man. It was crazy out there, man.
Yeah.
You know how it is. So I know the area you're talking about. It's wild out there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's tough. So
Yeah.
So you said you was an orphan.
Yep. So I grew up as a foster child.
Foster child. Okay. Yeah.
Way back in the day. I don't want to like sit there and divulge.
No, go
how
ahead.
far back?
Yeah.
But I was
okay. We get it. It was a while back.
Right? Yeah.
Listen, you gotta wear like a badge of honor, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was so far back that I was actually, when I was younger, sitting at Rick James' house watching him and Eddie Murphy make Party all the time.
oh man,
Eagle
that's
Heights. She would Homewood Orchard Park.
No.
His mother, Rick's mother, was a second mother to me. Miss Betty Gladden, God rest her soul. His brother Leroy, his sister Penny used to stay with us in Angola before Rick even blew up. So that's how far back I go. And I was in a foster home in Angola.
Yeah.
But used to come. My parents were smart. They still brought us. I was here 3 times a week because I went to St. John Baptist Church. Reverend Bennett Smith grew up in St. John Baptist Church. So he still gave me that city feel, but still had to deal with everything in Angola. But I'm glad because it taught me to deal with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing.
But
it was a pretty hard foster home. Like iron cord beatings.
Yeah.
No clothes on, switches off.
It sounds like a Catholic school.
No, the Catholic school would have been Club Med.
Well, like a ruler. So you talking about some like Annie, like some X-rated Annie stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm talking about from my parents, from my foster parents.
Oh wow.
But knock on wood, I think it put me on course to be where I'm at now.
Yeah, I feel
and
you.
treat people, equally, because when you go through all that, you grow up with not a lot of money.
Yeah.
You grow up hard like that, and you deal with everything. I don't know. You can go one way or the other.
Yeah.
True.
So so that was kind of like my history from growing up.
And then I remember you recently told us when we were talking a little bit earlier in a conversation that you have since recently reunited with some of your biological family.
Yeah, so it's crazy, right? Probably during the October storm, a lot of my family started coming around at a nightclub called Sub-Zero downtown. My friend Johnny Balcone that owns Italian Village, he owns it. So they started coming in, my sisters, my cousin Charlie Rock, who's just retired state trooper, my sister Marilyn, who does a lot of community, like everything I do in the community, she does it on a whole nother level, like especially on the east side. Like, you know, so she's well known, Marilyn Young. The girls call her Miss Marilyn. And then my real first cousin is running for mayor, Rashid Wyatt.
Okay.
Wow.
University District.
Wow.
So, but yeah, over the last, I would say since 2010, really got to know them. Both of my sisters, my real sisters, put me in their weddings.
Aww,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, my real father,
That's beautiful.
I seen him at the wedding, and he stood behind me, and I heard him. He's like, Anthony. I turned around, and I'm like, and I realized who he was. He's like, man, you done got big. I'm like, that's all you got to say. You have nothing to. I didn't even know him.
Oh wow.
So that was weird.
Yeah. So
But
tell me about
outside of that-
So how was that? So you said it was weird. So how did you feel though? Like did you want to punch him in the face or like?
I mean, yeah, I mean, but he was old, right? If he was a little bit younger, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have scrapped, but I didn't want nothing to do with him. Because I thought that, so I'll back it up a little bit. When my real mother, she passed away. And my sister Marilyn called me up. She's like, I just want you to let you know, our mother passed away.
Right.
I didn't grow up with her. She was a heroin addict.
Okay.
Recovery, relapse, And she's like, I wanted you to let you know, and here's the services, and just in case, because once she's in the ground and you've never seen her, you can't take that back. So out of respect, because that's where I came from, I went. And I thought to myself, if he's there and he makes some kind of effort here, maybe he didn't even come to that.
Okay.
Right? So my point is, what my point? So I wasn't weird about my sisters and brothers reaching out because they had nothing to do with all this.
For sure.
And all my aunts are beautiful. They're all like 75, 80, all movers and shakers in the community. I mean, we're like the Cosby Show.
But isn't it
amazing though?
Yeah, but
like how it all turned out, and it didn't have to turn out this way.
There you go. So that's what I'm saying. Like it didn't have to. You could have went on with life, just still imagining and wishing or wondering like the other side of the family. But you've been blessed enough to see that side, and now you have a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To integrate or not.
Yeah.
Or pick and choose. Because my aunt, she told me a lot of things about friends and family. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to watch out for friends and family when you get successful.
Yeah.
Especially when you're, someone like you that has a platform and, so I get it.
So I just thank God I didn't fall through the cracks. And and then however I can try to uplift somebody young, or anybody for that matter, to keep them from falling through the cracks.
There you go, my brother. Yeah. I love that story.
You know what else was interesting about your story too is like your whole family is like super inspiring. So and everybody's like movers and shakers and doing their things in their own way. So it's almost like in the DNA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's strange, right? I mean, it's in the DNA. Well, definitely with our aunts and everybody else. Yeah. Maybe not with my mother necessarily, but you know, she did give me birth to me.
I'm sure, yeah.
You know, my father, I don't think he had anything to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, well, I can keep it donated sperm. You know,
I guess so, right? Yeah.
So I mean, he could choose.
But it just goes to show you, you know, if God has a plan for you,
there you go.
You know, you got to stand the course, no matter how tough things get.
Yeah, for real,
you just gotta keep on the grind. You know, it's definitely all about who you try to keep in your circle.
Definitely.
You know, and
definitely.
Once you realize all that, half the battle is there.
Definitely. So
it's
how
daily practice, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Daily practice.
Daily practice. So, you know,
because there's temptations left and right.
Oh man.
Or like twists and turns, or sometimes the ego takes over. It's just it's a lot.
Yeah. Or like COVID and everything else, and shutdowns, and people lose their jobs and
and shifts. Yeah.
You just got to keep on. You know,
a lot of mental health issues.
A lot of mental health issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you a little about, you mentioned COVID, and we did have this conversation a little bit because I feel like the pandemic, everybody has a twist or a turn or something that transpired, right? So a lot of people had like experienced bigger awakenings during the pandemic. What would you say that season looked like for you?
Wow.
That's a great question. She's gonna come with a lot of these great questions.
To condense it real quick, because I can make it a 2-hour conversation. But
don't worry, I'll cut you when I think it's too long.
Yeah. But to condense it, it's definitely everybody has a moment in every generation, right? I'm sure World War II was a generation, or World War III, or we didn't get to that yet. World War II, World War I.
Well, I think we're in it, but.
Okay.
That's a whole other
story. That's a whole nother rabbit hole, though, right? But there is always
what you decide to see. Sorry.
Yeah. But there's always there's something where a mass amount of people are reshifted, right? Yes. So with me, I got the call from a radio station I worked for. I'm not going to say the name, but obviously everybody knows where I worked for 27 years. And I had great days there and everything else. Nothing negative to really say there. But I got the call during COVID, that first week before shutdowns, that I was losing my job at 27 years. And
that was quick.
And I felt like I gave 110%. I know the ratings were good. I was in the community. I was doing everything I could, and I didn't expect that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it was traumatic the first week. Second week was still kind of traumatic. And then that whole next year and a half, 2 years, it was up and down. But I didn't show it on the outside because I'm like, that's not me. And I know a lot of people were looking at me to see how I was going to react to this, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to keep it positive. I was broadcasting live from my house with a LED wall on Facebook, and we were having like 10, 20,000 views. A lot of people to this day, like business owners, are like, I didn't even have like a Cash App or nothing up there. I just did it to entertain everybody and keep dialed in everybody because I wasn't on the radio, right? Okay. Which was their mistake. They should have kept me on because I would have been rocking with everybody's kids and everything else.
Right.
But things happen for a reason. So as traumatic as all that was, if there was a perfect time for me to lose my job at 27 years, if you would have asked me before COVID, I'd be like, no, I would never want to lose it during a pandemic.
Right.
Now that was the best time to lose it because I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself because everybody was going through something.
Yeah, you survived.
Whether you lost a life, your grandfather died of COVID. Somebody died, you couldn't go to the funeral. Couldn't even go to their funeral.
It was a wild ride.
To end on that note, all that stuff. People are living in. You got 10 rental properties, and the government's telling you got to still pay the bank, but you can't get rent out of nobody.
I know.
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
Right? So. And then everybody I ran into, they're like, Anthony, you did the right thing with the community. So when we come out of this, let's team up and do something. You'll be all right. You'll be fine. Okay. And, everyone, when one door closes, another door opens.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done.
It's true.
But it's mind-boggling from whether it's Willoughby or whether it's Papa's or Flamingo or all these different things and everything I do at Roswell. It's mind-boggling how God put the right things in your way. Yeah, not in your way, but he lined you with the right things to take you out of that storm.
For sure.
So that was my reshift, and I'm very thankful now.
Yeah. Let's say amen to that. Amen.
Thank you, God.
Amen.
Thank you, God.
Yeah.
So did I answer that question?
I love it.
You did. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to shift us a little bit. You've given your time and energy to so many local causes and events, from community block parties to Bald for Bucks. What keeps you so connected into your mission?
what's funny, you know, I think once you mature and grow up within yourself and you realize what's important, I mean, because we all have our wild side. But once you finally,
we Kate. Don't we have a wild side, Kate?
And if I go to and if I go to Toronto or Miami or LA or something like that, you're tempted to bring it back. But
sometimes it sneaks out and you're when you least expect it.
And there's nothing wrong to have a little bit of fun, right?
No, right.
But when you're home and you're at home base, and then you realize that where you came from, and realize that you could go back there, you know what. You can go past that, right?
Right.
And God put you in this position. You're not going to be perfect. You're not. You can still do some up and down weird things.
Yeah, for sure.
But, right?
I know.
I'm like to preach.
Yeah, but as long as I wake up every day and I don't have brain cancer, why won't I go to 40 schools for Fall for Bucks in Roswell?
Right.
As long as I have a roof over my head, why wouldn't I try to help somebody, whether it's city mission or whatever?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want to do that and try to give back?
For sure.
And I try to do it as much as possible because I'm that thankful.
I love that.
There you go.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it.
Yeah, man. That was deep right there. You know.
Yeah.
Has there been a moment in one of those rooms that reminded you exactly where you're meant to be, like when you were in some of these rooms? And did you ever have like a moment where you're like, wow, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be at this moment?
I have a lot of moments like that, and it's just bizarre. Like they're like full circle moments from when you're the most insecure in your life, whether that little kid Anthony in Angola, getting jumped at my locker in Angola, or getting the N-word written on it. Whether this is not hammering Angola. I love Angola.
It's okay.
I'm just
you're telling the truth.
I'm talking 1800s Angola.
You're telling the truth.
We can celebrate that we've come a long way, but
for sure.
We can talk about what happened as well.
Yeah.
But people need to know this stuff.
Yes.
So the moment of that is when I go to Angola for Ball for Bucks, and I'll say to a little kid, I'm like, hey, what's your last name? And they're like, da-da-da. And I'm like, are you related to da-da-da? And they're like, that's my dad. Why? You know him? I'm like, they're like, they want to take a picture. I'm like, come on, man. That's a moment. Or like when I interviewed Jamie Foxx on the radio, and I broke his whole life down up with him in like 2 minutes so well that he had his people call and get me backstage to meet him. We talked and we just had a moment, and he was, and I'm like, when he had to live in color, I was like poor. And wondering where I was going to get my food from and like pay my bills. And now here all these years later,
you're chopping it up with him,
chatting with Jamie Foxx. Like so that's the star level, and then the real level. But there's a lot of moments like that.
Between.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in with a quick question.
Yeah, of course.
So you talk to a lot of celebrities, right? So what is it like? What was that like when you initially started to talk to celebrities? Did you get nervous, or you just treat them like regular people?
So when I first started at KISS in '94, and then I was backstage, like, and meeting people, it was definitely nervous then, right? But I still, the way I'm now, right now, I was carrying it that way, kind of. But then if I had to interview them or get in their circle one-on-one, but then people are people no matter how much money they got.
You realize regular people.
Maybe I belong here.
There you go.
And then you just like roll with the flow, and you get a couple drinks, and you're like,
Yep.
And then they end up liking you, and then you're like, okay. So in the beginning, it was awkward, and then like now, I really don't think there's anybody now that I could meet that I'd be like nervous about.
Donna Summer?
I might be.
Donna Summer?
Well, you know how much I love that. That's your family. That's your I was going to bring up something about her a little bit ago, but I'm like, I don't want to sit there and talking flirting about it.
But have you met her? Did you ever talk to her?
No, I always wanted to, and I'm not going to say I'm so mad. I'm glad I met you. But man, if I would have met you years ago and I would have met her, like she's up there for me,
Oh, that's what's up.
But the only person I would probably get nervous to meet right now probably would be like Denzel Washington.
Denzel? Okay.
Like Denzel, somebody like that, Denzel, Barack.
Barack, okay.
Like, it doesn't matter what your politics are. Look at the swag meter. Look at the swag meter.
For real.
There's a few people like that. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple other stars out there, but in general, it would only take me 2 minutes to be comfortable with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you be nervous with anybody ever?
Nah.
There's not one person?
Not one person, nope.
Yeah.
I just grew up around it all my life, so it's not,
Did you tell me you were nervous when you met Pee Wee Herman?
I didn't meet Pee Wee, but I would love to meet Pee Wee though.
Would you?
And he wouldn't be nervous.
No, for real, because I just love his movies back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And, back hip hop, we always do the Pee Wee Herman. Remember that joint? Like,
So who do you think was a cooler nerd? Not to get off topic.
Okay. No, we're good.
Pee Wee Herman or Urkel?
I rock with Pee Wee though, man. I gotta rock with Pee Wee, man. Yeah. I bet you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I would. I did meet. I was nervous when I met Muhammad Ali's daughter. She went to Mount Ida. Yeah. She went to Mount. I got to kick it with her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was nervous about that one. But
that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a real big one.
Yeah. That's a big one.
And Ali's was like my idol. So
yeah. And I looked up to Ali growing up, you know, especially growing up in Angola. I used to, in my mind, I keep bringing up Angola everywhere. Eating Corn Festival, wherever I went, I used to pretend in my mind that I was Muhammad Ali boxing. Somebody starting with me.
That's amazing.
But yeah, you know, so I could see where you'd be.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking up to meeting her.
Yep.
She nice?
Yeah, we hung out quite a few times, man.
Oh, it was your girlfriend.
Nah, she wasn't my girlfriend. She wasn't a girlfriend.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know that story.
Yeah. You know I got stories.
I know. You got a lot of them.
I got some too. So maybe for the next podcast.
Let's save it for the.
Yeah, because I got some good ones.
Really into the juice next time.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you would tell young creatives trying to find their own lane?
Young creative trying to find your own lane. If you want your own lane, create your own lane. Quit trying to be like somebody else, number one. Everybody's not an influencer.
Yeah.
You could have 60,000 followers. That doesn't mean you're an influencer.
Exactly.
So, all right. So,
what are you influencing?
Okay.
Like, you know, and sometimes businesses look at somebody that, you know, younger and you know, and they're trying to build something. I would tell business owners this too. Like, if somebody has 50,000 followers, so what?
All right, so give me an example, right? So all right, say for instance, right? Because some of them will get duped, right? Oh, they got 60,000 followers, right? And then they'll pay them to promote one of their products, and nothing sells.
And nothing sells.
There you go. That's what you're talking about, right?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Cool. I just wanted to say that
for
the
audience, a lot of that
so y'all can,
there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
But what connection is that person? You got to look at the person's integrity.
Yes.
You know, nobody's perfect. Look at what they're doing in the community. Have a conversation with the influencer. You know, but my whole thing is like my son. He's 29, you know, never been married, but my son, and he's a genius, right? And he just knows, like he's not the type of person to get caught up on Facebook filters or Instagram filters and how many followers he has, whatever. He cares about one-on-one, and you got to build one-on-one first, right? And you got to know what counts in life. And so once you become authentically real of a person, you can move mountains with 100 followers or 100,000 followers.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
I love that so much.
And I'm gonna tell you why he's right.
Real.
I'm gonna tell you why he's right. All right. So you did two things for me already. Just easily. And it wasn't even hard. Like you took a clip from one of my songs, Pistol. You remember you took that and you put it to the Bills?
Oh yeah.
That went ham.
Yup.
And then you know, then I did the acapella of the Bills anthem that we're gonna do.
Yep.
That went ham.
Yep, it did.
You know, so
and Pistol, and I was thinking because when I heard it, I'm like, okay, you know what? And I went and got a couple of clips of Josh because he's got the biggest arm, arguably in the history of the NFL. And I'm like, okay, like a pistol, let's go. And then when you see those, like Josh and throwing those darts and da-da-da to his song and his lyrics, boom, you know.
I need you to do that more for me.
Let's go.
I'm going to need you to do that more.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So that's with authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, and he connects with the people. So I was like, yo, I mean, like 200 shares, you know, I'm like, Anthony's, he's an influencer.
Yeah. But you have talent, right? So I'm like,
appreciate
talent,
that.
His drive, more and more I get to know him. I see where he's at. And then boom. And then, now I take the video and da-da-da. And granted, the Bills could be like, oh, what are you taking this video for? Because they can get weird, da-da-da. Yeah. But because of the relationship and the community and trying to do the right thing and trying to bridge everyone the right things together. Yeah. Boom. You know what I'm saying? That. And so to me, that's more influential than
there you go.
You sitting there, you know, with another fake Instagram story with a filter on, and you're like, who's this person? Oh, that's Tina. What is she doing with it? You know what I'm trying to say? I know that y'all don't put no filters on your stuff.
No, we don't put
neither do I. I'm like, I don't think I'm God's gift, but this is what God gave me. And if you don't like it,
for sure.
All right, move over. Somebody else will.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Am I wrong?
I think at the end.
No, you're not wrong at all.
We're not. Yeah, you're not.
But some people can get some people can think, some people may think too hard about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to do all that stuff because they think they have to.
Well, because social media is built to make you do that. It's so unfair for anybody younger growing up, 13 to 16 to 18, because they got all this pressure.
Yeah.
And I'll let you get back to your thing, but I think Instagram purposely controls who's popular.
You think so?
Yes, I watch it. You could see somebody I know in the community that's very popular, that knows a lot of people, and they could put up, she was in the hospital, they almost took my toe off in an accident, but they sewed it back on, and they get like 100 likes. And then my friend's 13-year-old daughter could be sitting on a hammock in the backyard and be like, lazy, hazy days in summer, and she got like 800 likes. I'm like, why is this girl got 800 likes? Who are the creeps putting... It's weird.
No, I
Instagram, no. Facebook, no. Instagram, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely an algorithm.
I definitely see. I understand what you're talking about, the algorithm thing, because for instance, like, so I'll get like 25 likes or maybe 30 likes, but I'll get like thousands of views.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it because the people don't want to validate me, like it, but they're watching me?
That's definitely part of it too. Yeah.
There's pieces of that too, I think.
We talk about
it's a combination of all of this.
I also think too, the younger generations, they like everything.
Yeah,
all of their peoples.
Yeah.
Like that's why, like,
maybe I just get more younger fan base.
Maybe they show love. And the other thing that we notice too is like other cities are mad on top of social media and more supportive of each other.
They're behind us.
Here's the thing about it is like, it's like just a way of measuring, like, right? Sometimes when you're on a mission, it's not necessarily about like, oh, who's picking it up, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about like we could say what our mission is, and if the other person is willing to receive that, beautiful, and if not, that's okay too.
Yeah,
I rather it to be more effective than having like a group of ignorant people liking my stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like plant a seed.
I agree.
Plant a seed.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So we're about to get to my favorite part of the segment. Which is a rapid fire round between you and Omega, and I affectionately am calling it Drop the Beat.
She took me off with this one. I don't even know what this is.
Okay,
so, we
go. Okay, so my first one, so it's like basically like either or. Okay. Well, actually, it's not an either or. It's just rapid fire.
Okay.
But one of the things we wanted to ask is, are you a DJ or a voice jockey?
So I was a club jock for years.
Okay.
And then the radio station found me in the club, and I became a radio DJ. So the DJ Anthony comes from, I DJ'd the clubs, and that's where I started my name.
So you actually cut records?
So I actually DJ'd a vinyl, straight vinyl for years.
All right.
Then I got into radio, right? So, so I'm a combination of them both.
You're a combo.
Okay, that's what's up.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the reason I ask is I never heard of a voice jockey before. So
I thought about VJs. I'm like, I never seen you actually DJ.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if he's a DJ or a voice jockey.
Yeah. Yeah, because if we knew each other like we know each other now, and I was on the radio, I would have brought you by the station, and we'd have been hanging out, or I would have been pushing to play one of your songs. Like, we didn't know each other like that then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Go-to spot to clear your mind.
Go-to spot to clear my mind. The club. No, I'm like,
it could be. The music could clear your mind.
That could be utopia. You know what I'm saying?
Clear my mind. I don't know. Sometimes to clear my mind.
Yeah.
If I'm busy, my mind's getting cleared. If I'm sitting at home, my mind is racing.
Yeah.
So you just can't sit in your thoughts.
Yeah.
I can, but I just go to sleep. Like I'm just like, whatever.
So, for sure.
To clear my mind or I would go down to like, if it's summertime, spring in the summer, I'd go down to like Alfred, Ellicottville, and just drive through there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Look, watch, because they have beautiful landscapes.
Yeah.
Just like nice. The view. Yeah.
There's nothing better than driving down to Ellicottville or Alfred in the fall and seeing the change of leaves.
The foliage. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I know.
Fall's I'm a Libra, so fall's like my favorite season, you know what I'm saying, October. Yeah. So that's when all the foliage and you see all the different colors and stuff like that, Yeah, it's beautiful.
I don't like fall because
winter's coming, I know.
But I'm a summer
baby. Can we take this podcast on the road and do it from Ellicottville, from Fall Fest?
I mean, we can do that,
We're talking about lots of
Jamil, you down to go? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Omega, what do you do?
There you go.
What do you do to clear your mind? What's a one thing that you do to clear your mind?
To clear my mind? I don't know.
Workout.
I mean, I think working out now has become my zen place to go, meditation, but also get a lot of frustration and anger out because I be wanting to smack people in their face a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely clears me up for real. Yeah. And I started going to Catalyst, and I switched up a little bit.
Oh, he's leaving you.
No, I'll be back and forth, but they got a bag there. So I used to be a boxer, so. Yeah. I went and hit the bag up today. Yeah. And I was knocking that bag out. They were like, yo, like, this dude's nice. Yeah. So yeah, I think that the gym is definitely. Thank you for the gym is definitely my clear my mind. Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Who would you say your favorite local artist or creative is right now?
Like artist?
Yeah, artist or creative or something.
Yeah, anybody creative.
Local that's really like hitting your inspiration button right now.
I think is really creative and a good artist and just a great wife and a great mother. And I mean, I think she's arguably top 2 goats of wives of the Buffalo Bills organization. Wow. Is Patty Thomas.
Patty Thomas. I never even heard of her.
Thurman's wife.
Thurman's wife. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, my bad, y'all.
She does art. Yeah. But she does so much other stuff for the community. Yeah. And I don't know. I really respect her. I've known her since 1990. Yeah. So she's never wavered who she is. She's only just gets stronger. And so yeah.
She's a humble too. She's humble and low profile on what she does.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is really beautiful. My son, I ran into them a lot because my son played baseball on an opposite team.
With Thurman?
Of their son. Yeah.
Thurman
and I always admired their family. They're really beautiful people.
Yeah.
What about you, Omega? Local artist or creative, somebody that's hitting you in the inspiration button
local.
Right now. I mean, I say local, but you.
No. Yeah. It would be challenging for me, right?
Yeah. So I feel we can open it up for you.
Local.
No, we don't have to be. It doesn't have to be local for you if you don't want it to be.
You know what? Who inspired me actually. I'm gonna say. I just got some records from Dirty O. I'm about to collaborate with him, and I was on his podcast like last week, and he only recorded 19 minutes of it, but so we couldn't air it. But like he's inspiring me right now. Like I got a record from him, and like he's super talented, super gifted. He's out of Niagara Falls. I did have him. He did a song for me on one of my publishing on a publishing deal that I did for him. And he's super gifted and super talented. He's also one of the curators for Hip Hop Weekly. He's real tight with Ray Benzino. So, but yeah, so he's inspiring me right now. Yeah. So I'm about to I'm like when I leave here, I'm about to do this record with him. So
nice. Yeah. I didn't know you meant artists that way. Like
it could be anything.
Yeah, it could be any creative, like any artist and creative.
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Nice.
Would you like to be doing a DJ set on the beach or in a mountain, or in the mountains?
Definitely on the beach.
Yeah. On the beach.
Yeah. There's nothing about mountains, mountain lions, bears.
Nothing.
Like,
stay away.
Do a DJ set and get dragged out by a cougar. Like that doesn't sound fun, right? Go to beach and bikinis and playing some beats. Like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
For sure.
We was debating whether we should say mountains or beach. I said, you know what? Let's just roll with it.
Let's do it. Yeah. What would you like? You're obviously not DJ, but performance, beach or mountain.
Yeah. So
now, if we were in Colorado and it was like one of those resorts,
there you go.
But it's still you're dealing with cold weather too.
Yeah.
So what about you?
Now you mentioned Colorado, like that's kind of a vibe, you know what I'm saying? But and then we also didn't say like you thought like mountain in the cave or something, right? That's
Or Hawaii,
or like with a lot of trees.
Definitely the beach.
Yeah,
definitely the beach. Yeah, the beach is a vibe. You know,
beach.
What about your hype song? Go-to hype song. I always ask this one.
Go-to hype song now?
Yeah, just in
general. No, it don't gotta be now. It can be whatever.
It can be anytime. Like I just need to get hype, and I'm about to go
style?
in.
You say Gangnam?
No, I'm saying yours.
Yeah, because you told me at the gym. When he's at the gym, I always hear in the headphones, "You better work, work it, girl, do your thing, on the runway."
Hey,
you
see me in the gym. You see, I'm getting hype.
You do.
Yeah.
I know. You be screaming out loud and everything else too with the headphones on. I'm like,
going in.
And I know people be watching it like, "Oh, this dude. I hope he don't kill us."
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
But he always looks smooth in the gym. I don't know. There's so many songs that get me going. I mean, it's a shame what's going on with Diddy right now because
why you got to bring Diddy to
this? Because he's got the catalog of
if it's
whether
Diddy,
it's Hypnotized. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Mace stuff, all that stuff was just. I mean, now if you're DJing in the party now,
okay,
are you not dropping any stuff now? Because
nah, I'm just saying he got classics, he got bangers.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so would you play, even though it might not be your favorite song? Would you play "We Ain't"?
Of course, that's a banger.
No,
it's a banger. I don't take anything away from his artistry and the music. You know what I'm saying? His lifestyle is I separate that from the creativity.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, like, like, I don't know, I'm kind of close to, like, because Ryan Leslie's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he produced, like, 4 records on my first album. You know what I'm saying? So, I seen the inception of all that stuff with Cassie. I got a record with Cassie, too.
Yeah.
So, but I just think the music is separate from,
You got a record with Cassie?
Yeah,
we had her at Christmas Bash one year. Yeah. And she was real nice. We took her out to Sub-Zero, the bar afterwards. But yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it's like R. Kelly too. It's like,
but a lot of people dropped R. Kelly from their playlist.
They drop you, but
at the weddings, like they did.
Well, they're not gonna play in the weddings and stuff like that. But I'm sure in their car, like they're shit in it, and you know what I'm saying? Like some song, I believe I can fly. Like I mean, it's just some songs. Yeah. It's just like it's a beautiful song. It's a song, but you got to detach.
All right, not to get off a subject. But
okay,
better producer, Dr. Dre or Diddy? Producer.
Dre for sure.
Yeah.
Dre hands down.
Yeah, because he goes all the way back to JJ Fad, Supersonic. He produced them girls. Supersonic, remember that song?
But he goes back to when he.
I mean, obviously NWA was after that, but he goes back to 86, 87.
Yeah, but he goes way back when he used to wear like a doctor. He used to wear a mask. Whatever that crew that he had. He was a DJ, but he had the crew. He was something else. He was called something else before.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh. We just listened to that, didn't we?
No, that was Hawaiian Sophie with Jay-Z.
Okay.
Hawaiian Sophie.
Yeah. All right.
No, but he was called something else. But he kind of wore lipstick, I think, at that time. Yeah, like I just can't remember the name of the group. Yeah. But so
I say Dre.
Yeah. But Dre's definitely the.
But the only reason why there's a conversation because Biggie.
Yeah.
Right. True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to just go back to something that you said as far as like. People can do a lot of really bad things. Let's not like argue about that. But like taking away their creative spirit or something that they really were passionate about at one point, I suppose isn't like, you can find the good in everything, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like a lot of people everyone has a light and a light about them and it can be super like, it's like, okay, it's like narcissism, right? It's like you can go like it's a thin line, like, because everyone has narcissist traits in them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's how far you take that.
I agree.
And also, some narcissists don't even realize they're narcissists.
Yeah, and sometimes all that money can really make you take it to where you...
to another one. It's ego. You got to check you have to always be checking your ego.
People got to be around you to ground you.
It's real. It's not even real. That ego is not real. Your spirit's real. Your ego is not. Yeah. So that's what you're checking.
Yeah.
That's what's towing the line. That's what's taking you.
Like you look at Freddie Mercury, right?
Spot.
Like he had amazing music, you know what I'm saying? And he was very sexual promiscuous and, he died of AIDS, but no one's saying nothing about taking away his music.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's about people's perception of what,
exactly.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah, I do.
But
I mean, obviously the elevator incident and kicking Cassie.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
I think that people can forgive you for baby oil and a few freak offs.
Yeah.
But once you're stomping out Cassie,
for sure.
It's a game over.
In a major hotel, then you're thinking, okay, if you're stomping her out, what are you doing with girls with no voice?
For sure.
Yeah.
So
I know what you're saying.
So a lot of love records that he's on is like collaborations too. So it's not like he got like
Well, that's why he's gonna be good to go, right? Like
that's what I'm saying.
Top 40's not playing like R. Kelly songs anywhere. No top 40 stations are, but they'll continue. I think they'll play, whether it's Mace or
certain records. They might take his verse out of it, stuff like that. We'll see.
Yeah. Can we get one rock and roll person though, like getting arrested here, like or something?
Man, they got arrested all the time. They just didn't. They just didn't treat them the same way.
Yeah. So, but I don't want to go down that either.
Look at Anthony. When did he get? I know, but I'm just saying you brought it up, so I'm just I'm always shooting at the hip. Like, So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What brings you joy outside of the booth?
Joy outside of the booth,
or your
when you could put your mind to something, and at the end of the day, like everybody wants something nice, right? You want a nice car, you want a nice house, you want a nice clothing, you want a nice girlfriend or boyfriend, you want da-da-da-da. And then I always thought, that's another thing I say to anybody young too, like, yeah, you want to strive to be successful. We want success. But at the end of the day, no matter if you're not happy inside or you're not giving back, no matter what level of money you go to, you still have the same depression at each level.
Yeah.
And the money's not making you happy no matter how much
That's
more
for
money
sure.
you get.
All day.
That's for
Right?
sure.
All day.
So me, if I wake up every day and I'm not in the hospital and I'm not sick and I don't have brain cancer, and then I went out and sometime in a course of a week, I made a couple people's day and gave back and tried to really like be there for somebody. It's something simple. Even going through Delta Sonic and there's young kids drying off my car. I don't have money, like not like the bills, but if it's winter, I might leave them a $20 bill for driving off my car because I know they helped me with Ball for Bucks when they were like 11.
Yep.
Wow, that's deep.
That's the kind of stuff. Things like that make me happy.
Paying it forward.
Or
forward,
you know, seeing like other family members or people you care about or friends shine too. That makes you happy too.
I love that. Yeah,
Right?
I love that. Thank you for that.
Hey, by the way, happy belated birthday too, because you know I came to the birthday party.
I was so happy y'all
I
came.
know that was a fun night.
Wasn't
that
it fun?
A nice
Yeah, it was
room.
dope.
Yeah, that was a good vibe.
I linked up with Slick Rick too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I linked
Big
up.
Rick,
Yeah,
Slick Rick.
Yeah, we linked up, and then he came to the hip hop part, at the art. Museum, the art thing museum, there was a hip hop thing so he came and I got to kick it with him as artists. So we're gonna be collaborating. So thank you, brother.
Yeah,
thanks for the plug.
You and him remind me a lot of each other, but
Yeah.
Rick's a really good dude.
Yeah,
right?
good guy.
Yeah, so
Good stuff.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
I want to keep going.
I know.
It's been truly inspiring. We're gonna have
I appreciate y'all having me.
definitely have you back, and we appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Yeah, no, I appreciate being here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And for those of you that are joining, thank you so much. You can like us on Instagram, kato.mega, and we're also on YouTube. So please give us a like, a follow, a share,
And subscribe.
Subscribe. Peace and love. Share joy.
Stay grinding.